Okay, so in the previous video I estimated F1 and F2 consistent with the methodology set out by the VIX white manual. So the CBOE has released a white paper on the CBO VIX Index. So this is the 2014 version, but 2018 is the same. So this white paper outlining how the CBOE volatility index is constructed. We were required to calculate T1, T2 to input into this formula. We also had to calculate F, right, and the relevant K's as well, a K0. See why that's important in a moment. But what we've just managed to do is to calculate F1 and F2. And if we bring up the spreadsheet for a moment, our estimate for F1 was 1962.9, 1962.9. And I just finished off estimating F2. That was obtained by going to the next term options chain data, working out the mid bid and ask and the mid value for the call for the put. So the mid value for the calls and then mid values for the puts, and we then worked out when the difference between the mid values was minimized. So we got here at 2.240, and that was consistent when the strike on the option was 1960. So to calculate F2, we said, okay, 1960 obtained from here when consistent with the minimum absolute difference between the mid value of the call and the puts, right? So we get 1960 comes here. We then worked out, we then had to take the respective interest rate, right? And that was given, the interest rate was 0.0286% for R2 for the maturity 2. The T2, right? T2 that we have here, that was obtained before. T2, we worked it out here. It's a 0.08826. So the 0.08826 we had obtained in the previous worksheet. And then the difference between, if we come down here, and again, note, at this 1960, the mid price for the bid and the ask was 27.30. The mid price for the bid and the ask on the puts was 24.9. We take the difference of those two and multiply, and then we get 1962.4, which is what we have here. So 1962.4. Now if we go back to the methodology, then we've got to obtain the K0. Okay, so the K0, the strike price immediately below the forward index level. And if the forward index levels were given as 1962 and respectively 1962, although a little bit lower, 89 here and 40 here, then for K0 for the close, for the near expiry option chain data would be the strike price just lower. So the strike price just lower than 1962 is 1960, and the strike price for the F2 just lower than 1962.4 also would be 1960. So for both the near term and then the next expiry date, the K0s are 1960 and 1960. Okay, so let's go back to the formula again here for a moment, right, and just take a look at how we progress. Again, we're working with this specific formula here. Delta K here denotes the difference in the strike prices going from one step to one strike to the next, and I think it's typically 5. And K squared is just the squaring of the respective strike price, and then E denotes the respective interest rate and time period, and then Q KI is the midpoint of the bid-ask spread for each option with the strike of KI. Okay, so let's just see how that gets implemented below and see can we set it out in the spreadsheet. Okay, so select out of the money put options with strike prices less than K0. Okay, so when we look at we're going to look at call options and put options, but not all of the call options and not all of the put options, right? We're going to look for the put options. We select the strike prices that are out of the money. So the strike price is less than K. Okay, K0. So if this is K0, then the strike price below is an out of, so the lower we move the exercise relative to a given F, the more out of the money the option becomes, right? So the more we reduce K with respect to any given F, the more that option goes out of the money. Start with the strike, with the put strike immediately lower than K0 and move to successively lower strike prices. Exclude any put option that has a bid price equal to 0, no bid. Okay, and that's one way of truncating then the option chain data, that not every single quote is included. If we have zeros, then we exclude out. As shown below, once 2 puts with consecutive strikes are found to have 0 bid prices, no puts with lower strikes are considered for inclusion. Note that at 1350, 1355 put options are not included, despite having non-zero bid prices. Okay, so we'll just move down and we see here there's 2 consecutive put options with bids of 0 followed by 0, and they're not going to get included in the estimation. So again, for the put option here, if we look at the put options for the near term, then it's true when we get to come down to 1365, 1360, there's 2 bids that are with 0, and at that point we exclude their consecutive values. We exclude then these values here. So it's the put options that we focus upon here in our estimation, right? And then the call options that we include are the out of the money call options. Okay, so as we raise the strike price, the option for call options, as the strike price goes up, the option gets further out. The call option further falls out of the money, right? For the close term. Again, here we notice that also, right? As we raise the strike price, the call options become further out of the money. So it's the gray area, right? These gray values that are shaded in are the values that are going to be used in the estimation of the formula. The out of the money options is what we're going to focus on. Okay, so next, select out of the money call options with strike prices of K greater than K0. Start with the strike immediately higher than K0 and move to successively higher strike prices, excluding call options that have a bid price of 0. A bid price of 0. Okay, so when we come down here, yep, when the bid price is 0, then we exclude that value. Okay, we exclude that value from the exercise. Okay, and let's, as with the put options, once two consecutive call options are found to have bid prices, no calls with higher strikes are considered. Note that the 2225 call option is not included despite having a non-zero bid price. Okay, so the 22, if we come up a little bit, perhaps, the 2225 is excluded, okay, as well, right? If we look at this for a moment. Okay, so I've just copied in that segment there of the estimation of the VIX on page 7, and we'll just observe the guidance here. So do we include, again, 2095, 2095, the bid is 0.05, the ask is 035, 035, do we include? Yes. We include in the following one, yes, but then following that at 2120, that gets left out because there's a 0. The following one, do we include? Yes, we do include, and then on afterwards, 2 consecutive zeros, we leave the following values out. Okay, so those values, do we include? No, we leave them out. There's 2 consecutive zeros, and once we hit the 2 consecutive zeros, no further values then are included. Okay, so in the next video, I'm going to go back. We've explained how we've selected the gray range within our estimation, and now once we've explained how the out of the money option series were incorporated in to our estimation, we then proceed to implement more fully our formula, right? So for this range of values that we have to include in, it's the only applying to the out of the money options, and we have got to include, right, in the estimate, right, that we're going to make, we've got to include for these estimations that we're going to make, it's only the out of the money options that we include, and then we have to estimate the change in the exercise. That's typically 5. When the exercise was 1370 for the put, we just square that value. E is the in this instance, it's the shorter rate for the shorter expiry. T1 is the maturity in annual maturity for the shorter expiry, and then the 0.2 here, it's the absolute minimum between, if we check back to the 1.3, okay, when we look for the 1.370, so again it's the shorter maturity at the exercise of 1.370. We have this 0.05 and 0.35. Let's copy the estimation here for a moment just to take a very quick look. Okay, I'll go back into the spreadsheet and we'll just paste that for a moment so we can compare directly. And so when we look at this, what we observe is at the 1.370, for the put option, the value here for Q, the 1.370, so Q denotes the midpoint of the bid-ask spread for each option at the relevant strike price of 1.370. So we take the difference between, we add 0.05, so we just add 0.05 plus the 0.35, that's 0.4. We divide it by 2, equal to the 0.4 divided by 2, we get the 0.2 here. Okay, so these values are extracted from here. The 0.5 plus the 0.35 divided by 2 midpoint gives us 0.2, and that's our